Welcome back to our channel, everybody. It's me, Janaye.
It's me, Rainy.
And we're back with another one.
We're going to be checking out what are we doing to white people. Now, this video been on the internet for quite a bit, but we're going to be checking this out for the first time. I've been wanting to react to this for probably a year now, but I haven't never checked it out.
I'm going to say, have you seen this before? I've never seen this before.
Never seen this before. I always wanted to check it out, but I never had the chance to watch it yet. First time watching this.
All right, let's get it. Let's get into it.
Let's talk about what we're doing to white people.
Wait a minute.
There's been something going on for a while.
Bone structure is amazing.
Okay.
That right there and all this right here, A1. All right, go ahead.
You got a model. Let's go.
Yeah, that we're being told not to notice. More to the point, that we're asking white people not only to ignore, but to accept the rising tide of racial hatred against white people. In the past decade, there has been a noticeable cultural shift in what constitutes acceptable speech as it relates to white people. Back when I was a kid, in the early 2000s, the mainstream American culture preached about respecting each other's differences and not seeing color. Nowadays, we say that not seeing color is racism, that you must see color. But the more I see how things are unfolding, the more I'm convinced that this is wrong. Back then, saying something offhanded about white people were seen as not appropriate, just as it would be to say something offhanded about people of any other race. But that soon gave way to our current times, in which there exists virtually no limit to what racial minorities can and do say about white people. I believe this is the natural outgrowth of a perverse ideology that teaches us that every societal ill, is the fault of white people, and that whatever prejudice acts we may inflict upon them does not constitute discrimination because we don't have the power to discriminate. And alarmingly, this is particularly pronounced in the younger generation. But is it true? Do we not have the power to discriminate? Well, let's see. First, let's take a look at the racial hatred at the interpersonal level. In today's society, it has become somewhat fashionable to think things and say things about and to white people that would not be acceptable if it was said about any other race. And we're being taught that this double standard is not wrong, that it is rather a form of empowerment. They'll attribute negative experiences that they've had with white people to their whiteness. You had an argument in line at the grocery store with a white person? They were acting entitled because they were white. A white driver cut you off when you were driving? They need to check their white privilege. Your actions, your conduct, and your existence, in other words, boil down to your whiteness. And ashamedly, at one point in time, this was how I used to think as well. And beyond the people in my circle, I noticed that many people of color have this sort of blasé attitude, an attitude most particularly pronounced when there are no other white people around. Things are being said not just behind closed doors, but out in the open. Not just between close friends, but between complete strangers. So here's the thing. This is something that I've experienced countless times, so I know that there are other people who are experiencing it too. I know it must resonate with at least some of you. The difficulty here is that no matter how many anecdotes I share, they are just that, anecdotes. And people who refuse to believe that this is happening will just chalk it up to my experiences being a fluke. Or worse yet, they'll say I'm lying. So I've compiled some TikTok videos. I want you to take a look at the things that are being said about white people, especially by the younger generation, the kind of statements people wouldn't dare say about people of any other race. Take a look at what is stunning in vogue in today's society, and ask yourselves, where does this lead to years down the line?
You have a token white, and you're hanging out with your friend group of color. You need to ask permission from everybody in the group to bring your white friend. Don't just bring them. I might not.
What?
I've never heard of that.
Ask permission?
Yeah, no.
What?
I hope I hope he doesn't take these people's experience and then push it out of this is how it is. This is what it is. Because it sounds ridiculous off the bat.
Off bats, it does. Yeah. That's crazy.
Everybody in the group to bring your white friend. Don't just bring them. I might not be in the mood to deal with white shenanigans that day. That's all I'm saying. And another thing, it feeds into their ego. Don't let them think they're a good white person.
Accomplices ask, how can they support Black and Indigenous people of color?
Oh, you did.
And sometimes I really don't know what to say, but here's one easy way. Just don't have babies.
Just don't have babies.
Single-handedly cause the white genocide that they are so afraid of. With 2.25 billion Asian women and 500 million white men, baby, it'll only take 2 generations. In 2 generations, there will no longer be any blonde-haired.
These are some things I noticed about white American culture. Being grounded is a punishment to them. That's what they call punishment. The least grounded, least balanced, most destructive race considers being grounded a punishment? Yeah. They also say really violent phrases. Like they say things like, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Why do we have to kill the birds? Why is everything so violent? It's almost like one's language and phrases reflects one's nature.
So that new Jeffrey Dahmer movie on Netflix is the perfect example.
See, I never got to see that documentary yet.
It was like, well, not the movie's good, but the series was so good.
It was better.
Yeah. But let me hear what she gonna say.
Is the perfect example of the sensationalization of white violence. People have a much easier time sympathizing with white criminals than they do with black victims. People think these shows are harmless, but they actually contribute to a much bigger issue. Yeah. It contributes to the viewpoint that white people are less violent than everyone else, and white violence is something...
That's so crazy, though.
That's very true, though.
Yeah, it is true, but the thing is, to me, if a black person goes on a road of killing people...
Yep, like Jeffrey Dahmer, it would be...
It'd be a whole different storyline. It'd be a whole different twist on it. Yep. That's crazy. Jeffrey Dahmer was more praised.
Yeah, he was.
He was more praised, and if a black person, they wouldn't be praised for what they was doing.
It's
sensational. Like what did she say? Sensual. Wait, what's the word?
Sensualized.
Sensationalized.
Okay.
Sensationalized. But
people are less violent than everyone else, and white violence is something to be consumed in media, and that's it.
What is with Caucasian people and their inability to read a fucking room? Y'all act like you don't understand.
We know about somebody like that already.
Yeah.
We filmed with a girl like that. Don't know how to read the room and think you could just say anything
she thought she could say anything, and I'm like, girl, no. So I mean, I feel like by this person, the one whose video this is, he's disproving his own point here. I don't know, but anyway, let's go. Let's keep going.
And shit, because y'all be the first ones.
I only say that because the stuff that they're saying is true. So not all of it, but a lot of the last 2 clips
that was true. Yeah, that was true. Yeah. That was facts though, no lies.
Y'all act like you don't understand shit because y'all be the first ones during a conversation about the Holocaust to get so mad when black people be like, you do realize that the original Jewish people were black, right? White people do not need to explain to anybody about us all bleeding red because, baby, you all are the people that need to learn that lesson. Clearly, history shows that you all are the people that like to pillage and eradicate, enslave and oppress, attempt to suppress greatness because you all simply don't have it.
Right? Here go y'all cum goblins who don't even live in the fucking thing. Which, by the way, the Q-tip people are the last ones to ever talk about somebody stealing anything. Y'all wouldn't be in this country had it not been for y'all stealing it.
Yeah.
So y'all are more focused on people looting and trying to get necessities and things that they need. And yes, a TV is a fucking necessity thing.
It's crazy because when white people steal black people or Indians or Mexican ideas, it's not stealing. It's okay. You know? Yeah. But when black people do it, it's a big problem though. That's crazy though. They do be stealing though.
People looting and trying to get necessities and things that they need. And yes, a TV is a fucking necessity thing. You feel like you're better than because people are out here stealing and you would never. First of all, if you are a Mayo monster, that is how your ancestors got everything from stealing. People are,
and that's a behavior that's very common among white women. You may have not intended that, but there are many white women who act exactly like you.
If you can find it in your heart this holiday season to donate to the Discriminated White Fund, you'd be helping millions.
Nothing says high protein like cicadas and trees. Make sure you...
And nothing says caucasity like that right there.
His voice. He got a commercial voice.
Roaming Asian grocery stores like it's an amusement park.
Explain to me why white people don't wear shoes outdoors.
That's disgusting.
Nah, that's nasty. That's not even appropriate right there. That's not acceptable. You just nasty for that. Come on now.
Explain to me why white people don't wear shoes outdoor, but wear shoes inside.
We're both white women. We are inherently a danger in spaces for Black, Indigenous, and other people of color simply by existing.
It's white cis men who are a part of the far right-wing ideology of fascism. That is a true threat and the terrorism to this country.
If BIPOC stand in the street and scream at the top of their lungs, I hate all white people, I want all white people to go die, die white devil, you cracker bitch, that's still not racism.
You're not one of the good white people. Stop separating us from the bad white people. Don't sit out there in comments and say, we don't claim them. We are them. We are the ones shooting up schools. We are the ones raping people, the ones enslaving people.
And I'll say it. I hate being white. Which means I'm one of the good ones.
All white people are inherently racist.
Yeah.
Can you be racist against white people?
Based off of the definition of racism, yes, but it's not gonna hurt them and hurt their opportunities like it does people of color.
While technically you can, it's not like an issue.
You can't oppress the oppressor.
It helps you sleep at night. I'm racist to white people, and I'm proud of it.
Why do people not understand that you can't be racist to white people? It's impossible. The system is not set up that way. You can insult white people, but it is not racism. Me calling a white person a tub of mayonnaise and a flower looking ass, that's not racism.
All the way to Africa to physically take black people from their homes, shove them in on boats where a lot of them got diseases and died, tell them where they could sit on a bus, tell them which schools they could go to, which water fountains they could use, which bathrooms they could use, and that's sugarcoating it. Those are just terms. I'm not even describing all the disgusting things that happen, and they don't even want revenge. They are letting you guys skate by asking for equal rights. That's it.
Yeah, that's the thing. The simplest thing, equal rights, all the stuff that we've been through for years and decades.
Asking you to stop. We're just asking you to stop and treat us like equals.
Yeah.
Instead of hanging you like you did us, whipping you like you did us, just enslaving you like you did us, just all the hatred that still goes on today.
It is, and just a different way though. It's still going on.
We just have jokes and we just have a sense of humor that y'all just wish y'all had. Yeah. Some of y'all from the South have a good sense of humor, but
that is true though.
You guys skate by asking for equal rights. That's it, and you're still saying no. They are not as angry as they should be. Y'all are getting off easy, and you're still saying no?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Some people look at that and chalk it up to the grumblings of the powerless. That's the idea that when you have a power disparity, the less powerful sort of has this general society given leeway to complain about the more powerful. The villagers complaining about their king doesn't have the same ring as the king making snide and crude comments about the villagers. But that's not what's going on here. Because although certain segments of our society refuse to believe this, even as evidence mount before our very eyes, in one side of the political aisle, people of color actually have greater power than white people. That is the truth that is not being acknowledged.
What's your comment on that?
I feel like he just needs to shut his mouth. White people don't even like him. I feel like this is his attempt to get a bunch of white people to love him right now. This is like...
Let's put all these clips together.
We definitely don't have more privileges than white people.
Yeah.
I feel like we've come a long way. We had to fight for the things that we have, and we had to overcome a lot of things to be where we're at today.
And we got every right to take our anger out on certain situation. So just like when we was doing the people was looting the stores, doing the riots and all that, and the white people was getting mad talking about you doing this, hoodlums and all this other stuff, but we got every right, man. We could do worse than that, to be real. Y'all treated us so bad for years, and when we get the opportunity to have a voice, y'all trying to shut us down. Yeah. But that's crazy though.
Color actually have greater power than white people. That is the truth that is not being acknowledged by the people that need to hear it, because this gets in the way of them wielding that power in the way they want, malignantly. I've heard from somewhere that politics is downstream of culture, and I think that is certainly correct. We have a mainstream culture that tells us it's okay to hold prejudice and hateful view of white people, and our politics is then infused with this energy, and we see active, overt, and on the books racial discrimination of white people that those who are perpetuating this hatred is refusing to see as discrimination. They'll say, no, this is remediation. These are the same people who are making tenuous arguments that some of our race-neutral laws discriminate against people of color. And this is certainly evidence that in one side of the political aisle, people of color have more power than white people. Because if we didn't have the power, we wouldn't be able to...
For example, Congresswoman Jasmine, I forgot her last name. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
She was I forgot the white lady that she was talking to, but she was like child, which is just like a saying in black. It's not an insult. Mm-hmm. But the white lady was like, I am not a child. We can take it outside. So she was inciting violence. But she got away with it. But had Congresswoman Jasmine said that, oh, you're inciting violence. All black people are violent. It's everything that we say is taken in a more violent way when white people have historically proven to be the most violent human being on the planet. Yeah. So it's like we just, if she would have said, let's take it outside, oh yeah, Jasmine wants to fight. But when the other lady said it, oh, she meant let's just talk about it outside. Yeah. She didn't mean it like that. Yeah. She meant let's just get some fresh air outside. Why was it interpreted like how you would interpret it if Jasmine said it? No, because that's what she meant. She meant let's take it outside so I can beat your ass, Jasmine. That's what she meant. But anyway.
People of color have more power than white people. Because if we didn't have the power, we wouldn't be able to put into place practices and policies that does this. That's what power is. Things like Minneapolis local government.
Yeah, he's saying that.
I'm so sorry. It's a shame that he's putting those good jawbones and like the good bone structure. It's a shame that he is just being so wasteful with that structure. It's a shame. I had hope coming into this video.
Yo, I did too. That's why I was just being quiet. I had hope though. I feel like we don't have power over white people, obviously. And if we did, though, the world would be powerful. If black people did run the world, then, yeah, it would be a good place. It would be powerful. But we obviously don't have that. And white people ain't going to give us that opportunity,
and ever. Black people are just so, by nature, we're so loving and so, we just welcoming.
Yeah, we are.
And then when we have to defend ourselves, we will defend ourselves. But it's always comes of a place of defense. We don't just off the bat we're not being defensive for no reason. Yeah. It's because you gave us a reason.
Yeah, give us a reason.
Yeah,
it's like poking the bear and then you get mad at the bear
when it eats you.
It reacts in a different way. You bother it. Yes. So why you gonna get mad for it,
Have more power than white people. Because if we didn't have the power, we wouldn't be able to put into place practices and policies that does this. That's what power is. Things like Minneapolis local government agreeing to a contract with the teachers union that says white teachers must be fired first. New York City's government enacting a policy of having white seniors go to the back of the line on life-saving COVID treatment.
Back of the line.
A college professor that says white people should be killed and facing no repercussions. Cornell University banning white people from rock climbing.
I feel like there's more context to that he's not going to say.
Many instances of liberal colleges doing the utmost to exclude and ostracize white students. BIPOC-only events equal no whites, but they don't have the guts to say that, even though that is what that is.
No, we have
That's what makes it different than the work rumblings of the common villager. The villagers have surrounded the palace, demanding Marie Antoinette's head. The power dynamics have shifted. That is a fact. Progressive media outlets do not cover these stories. Some people out there have no idea that this is going on. But worse, some others out there know but agree with what's going on. And for those people to convince themselves that this is not racial discrimination, they play mind tricks and word games. They use phrases and talking points like punching up. You can't be racist to white people. You can't oppress the oppressor, meaning I'm acting oppressively, but I've designated you as the oppressor, so everything goes.
It's or not I've designated you as the oppressor.
The only way to remedy past discrimination is current discrimination. Or when people say things like, what we're doing to white people is not racism, because racism is prejudice plus power, and we don't have the power. They use all this mind-bending apparatus to delude themselves into believing what they're doing faces no moral quandary. But in the back of their minds, perhaps in their subconscious minds, is racial revenge. We experienced it, you experienced it too. See how you like it. That people of color are using our newfound power to act this way and then pretend like none of this is going on.
You like it. You don't like it, do you? And he looks like a Asian Harry Potter. His hairstyle with the bangs. Yeah. Anyway, he says, see how you like it. If there's things that's being done to white people, and you, Mr. Asian Harry Potter,
he's
acting like it's happening to him. I don't know.
Yeah. He's even got the glasses too, like Harry Potter too. That's what's funny.
Yeah, it's offensive. You don't like it, do you? You don't like it, but it continues to happen to us, to black people.
It does.
So, yeah.
That people of color are using our newfound power to act this way and then pretend like none of this is going on leads me to believe that we would have done the same thing that white people did were we to be in their historical position. Because such acts have its roots in human nature, not white people nature. And one can only imagine What might happen in the coming decades when the demographics of the US will have shifted such that white people will no longer constitute the majority? When the younger generation you've just seen have graduated from elite schools and hold positions of power in our institutions, our government, corporations, entertainment, news media, and so forth, how they might, in wielding the levers of society, be able to rationalize using their adult brain the hatred that was embedded in their minds during their adolescence. What we're seeing is just the beginning. To the white people who are watching, I just want to say, you are not an oppressor for refusing to accept an ideology that teaches people to hate you, that teaches you that you are inherently bad, that your children are inherently bad, that you are inherently racist no matter what you do or how you think, that you need to repent by taking affirmative steps in your life to redress harms that your ancestors may have done, or the racist actions of other white people. In fact, you are not an oppressor, period. You did not choose to be born white, just like any of us did not choose to be born in our race. And to ask of you, at the individual level, for example, to give your life in service of people of color, to be used as physical barriers at protests, to give away your house to black people instead of your children, all actual things that have been publicly demanded of white people.
Oh,
to ask this of you is morally reprehensible.
So familiar. It sounds like, wow. So familiar. Wow. Interesting.
Punishment. You are not under any obligation to carry yourself in any sort of way that others demand of you just because of the color of your skin. This, you need to do this and you need to do that because you benefit from privilege thing is bogus. It is just a way for people harboring racial animus to attack you, to say that the accomplishments you've achieved in your life isn't yours, and to silence you. It is not you.
Yeah.
It is this ideology that is wrong and perverse. It is one cloaked in a shroud of pseudo-justice and self-righteousness, all the while excreting toxic fumes of racial hatred. It blames all white people for the actions of their ancestors, something you have no control over, while absolving black people of personal responsibility for their own individual actions by holding that if black people commit acts of harm, for example towards another community, that's a fault of white supremacy. White people are controlling them like puppets on a string. It's a backwards, transgressive ideology. If you don't harbor any hate in your heart but want to fight it as a matter of principle, this does not make you racist or bigoted. If you refuse to accept their premise in your head but are too afraid to voice your opinion, you're neither a coward nor a bad person. If you're of a liberal bent, but there's a small corner in your brain telling you as you're watching this video that perhaps some of this is wrong, listen to your intuition. Maybe you think, oh, I agree with most of what the progressive left teaches about racial justice, but just not with some of this disagreeable stuff, only at the extremes. I'm here to tell you that the rot starts at the core. This racial hatred of white people is a natural outgrowth, part and parcel of an ideology that attempts to indoctrinate us into believing that there is current systemic oppression going on, that all racial disparities we see today is the sole result of oppression by white people, when there are other more plausible explanations to be had that these same people are silencing as impermissible hate speech. They're telling you, shut up. You'll take it.
No, I'm doing it on
You'll
purpose.
like it. But contrary to what they're saying, you don't have to take that. You can believe that the things that have been done in the past were morally wrong,
He about
as
to
well
get
you
these
should.
white people beat up
All the while
out in the
believing that what is
streets.
currently going on is also wrong, that we're going backwards, that this is history.
Misleading every white person who's watching this video. They're gonna take this, and this video got millions of views, and they're gonna say, okay, this is how we should act now.
Yep.
And look, he putting the wrong thing in people's
You see
head.
how like people like with Trump being in office,
Mhm.
which is whatever, but now like the people who are like super racist or have like this super idea about people are now saying what they want to say.
Yeah.
When they wouldn't have said it before,
Mhm.
because they feel like now they got the president on their side.
Yeah,
who says all these outrageous, incorrect.
This year is crazy.
Yeah.
Airplane crashes. People think they can say whatever they want. People being too comfortable.
The thing
you know?
is, you can say whatever you want, but don't write a check that show can't cash. Okay, that's the thing about it.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Do not do it. I'm telling you.
Believing that what is currently going on is also wrong, that we're going backwards, that this is history rhyming with itself. The table is turning in an eye for an eye manner. As the great Mahatma Gandhi once said, an eye for an eye will leave the whole world blind. But those driven by hatred would sooner gouge everyone's eyes out than realize that true victory for people of color would have been having history record that when the power dynamics shifted, we treated white people with a kindness that their forefathers may not have shown our forefathers. But now, it will say when we gain the power, we turned around and started doing some of the same stuff to white people.
Nobody
Segregation,
says that.
Yeah.
social ostracization, hatred sanctioned by government and law.
No.
And we're doing all of this while pretending like we're doing something valiant. We've missed our bus. But that doesn't mean that there can't be a course correction. So, to some people of color watching who are engaging in this sort of hatred, whether or not you're acutely aware, the same people that act like white people as a collective are not people, but rather some pernicious alien force that has come to invade the earth. With this video, I implore you to ask yourself, what are we doing to white people?
What are we doing to white
As some
people?
people love to say, do better.
Yeah, you should definitely do better. What do you have to say about this?
My thing is, he said, what are we doing to white people? Do better, like, as we the people who causing the problems,
right?
That stuff that's happening to us. It should be, what are they doing to black people or other races, bro?
Or if you feel like something is happening to you, why are these things happening to you? Take accountability. While you may not be your ancestors, if you continue to carry on their negative, their negative history of their violence and the way that they act and speak and the way that they think, if you continue to carry it on,
it's going to keep going.
We're going to keep being on the defense. But I don't know.
But at the end of the day, you are not born racism or racist or nothing like that. You know, that's your choice. Or some people are passed on from their grandparents or their mothers to not like a certain color or stuff. It's passed on.
Some people are raised to be that way, but that I don't even think that's a good excuse because
it's not a good excuse. Yeah.
Because I was raised to be not like racist or anything, but I was raised a certain way, and my life turned out completely different because I took control of my own life and my own thoughts, and I know how to treat people with dignity and respect, no matter what their color, race, background, or whatever it is.
And you know, it's so funny because like. My whole life I've been around different type of race. Black, I've been to a black school, all white school, all a mixture of all. And it's so crazy because like when I look at color, I look at everybody as the same. And I'm not just saying I really do though. But it's so crazy because some white people or some black people, they feel like when they're around a certain group, they can act a certain way just because they're around them. But I treat everybody with respect as they like my family member because the love I show. And it's not black people attacking anybody. We already getting attacked already. We don't got the privilege as certain people like white people have. So I don't know why he's saying we have more advantage than them or something. We really don't. Yeah. Obviously, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Right. And then for me, I would say I don't see like everybody the same. I don't. I would be lying if I said I do. I know, I understand that everyone has different cultural backgrounds. Yeah. So I can't say that I can look at everybody and then say like, oh yeah, we're all the same, because we're not. Yeah. But we have things in common. Yeah. I can say that, but we may not, vibe on that same wavelength, so
you are right.
And that's okay because we still might have things in common. I have all types of friends. Like when white people say, I have a black friend. I do too. I have a white friend. Yeah. But I have a lot of friends. I have friends of all different kinds of backgrounds, and that's how we bond, because of our differences.
You are right though. I can agree with what you said, because what I mean is like, I can see everybody as the same. Just because somebody's white, I'm not gonna say, hey man, I don't want to hang with you. I want to
because you're white.
Yeah, because I'm not ridiculous. Like that. Yeah.
And black people don't. We don't. The black people I know, we don't do that. If you cool, you cool. If you are Karen or Ken, you can be a Karen or a Ken out my face. Like, over there. Like, we're not just, we just cool. Like.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Oh,
I hope that this new year brings you love, joy, and light. 2022 was a really difficult year for me, but the difficult times were interspersed with times of happiness. Some of the happiest moments of my life, actually. So I'm grateful for 2022 and excited for 2023. I hope you're as well. Please do not give up your resolutions in January. Stick it out till March, like I do.
Wow.
He just spread, he doesn't even understand. He just spread so much hatred in this video, talking about love and light.
Yeah.
I think that
at the beginning, I ain't gonna lie, at the beginning clip, I was kind of a little bit agreeing a little bit. And then when he starts showing the clips, and after that, he just starts saying how we got power and all this other stuff over white people.
Absolutely
and
all this.
False. I was like, that's not true. I don't know where he lives in this world. But it sounds like he's not USA or something. It sounds like he's from somewhere else. That's how he's talking.
The thing about it is, like, I will say that that's probably his experience.
Yeah.
Which is insane to say because he's not white.
Yeah, he's not.
He's not white. He cannot say that he's experienced something from a white person's point of view or a black person's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
He's a third party probably looking in, and that's probably what he has seen. But it depends on like where he lives or the people that he's around. But from my experience, he's completely wrong.
Yeah.
He's like...
And it's so crazy. I experienced so many different bad stuff happen to me, and I've been in all types of atmospheres. So I can't agree with him though. I don't know if he's taking these clips off TikTok and he just going off just that.
But the clips that he got, they didn't
do him no justice at all.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing. They were, some of them were very accurate. And as white as I am, I'm not white. I know I look like I'm mixed. I'm not. As light as I am, I still get called. I'm not gonna tell you where I'm at, but as light as I am, I get called the colored girl. I've got called in the N-word before multiple times at my job. I've got discriminated because I'm black and the way I talk and the way I express myself. Like, it's just, I can't be myself. Well, I'm going to always be myself, but I can't be myself without any repercussions.
It's crazy
without
because
any pushback.
It's crazy because I remember when I was in California around the summertime, and this old white man, he just called me the N-word, me and my friend. What? I'm like, because we was in his way, he was getting mad calling us the N-word. I'm like, bro, we didn't even do anything. Like,
and see, that's a very polite response.
Yeah.
It's like just saying, I didn't do anything. Why are you calling? No. Like.
Yeah. That's crazy, though. But yeah, man, you got to just put yourself in our shoes.
If you would have took off on him, you would be wrong.
Yeah, if I would have hit him, if I would have hit him or something, then I would have been a bad person, and I would have get arrested or something just because I reacted a certain way. But if a white person,
it's like they do poking the bear and get mad. You start stuff and get mad when we finish it. If you haven't learned, leave us alone.
Yeah, because they just feel like they empowered. That's why they feel like they can do it.
Leave us alone.
Because they know they feel like, if the cops come or something, they gonna believe me, so it doesn't matter. That's how they feel.
That's why I'm so glad they have all these like cameras and stuff nowadays, recording everything.
Good that we got
cameras.
seen.
And speaking of clips, I wish we can insert a few clips ourselves. There was this one clip of the lady in Victoria's Secret. You remember that one?
No, I never seen that one.
There was a black lady in Victoria's Secret and there's a white lady in Victoria's Secret, and I don't know what happened, but the black lady said something to her in response to the white lady. The white lady fell on the floor. It's like, she's attacking me! Help! And everybody was just looking at her like, what are you doing?
That's crazy.
What?
The ultimate Karen. That's like the ultimate. That's crazy.
So they're always the victim.
They're always the victim, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Though. But yeah, man, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe. I know the comments are probably going to be crazy, insane. We're going to read all of them. Yep. But tell us some other videos we should check out. So y'all give see our opinions on this type of subject, I can say. Because honestly, I wish racism never exists. I wish none of this. I wish everybody could be happy and be best of best friends. But that's not how the world works, though. But yeah, what you got to say?
Nothing. I'll see y'all in the next video.
Yeah, and I see you later, Harry Potter. You really got the hair and the glasses.
Yeah, the Asian Harry Potter.
He just need a wand.
Yeah, and then I'm sure he got a little scar up under there. All his feelings wrapped up in that one scar.
No, that's crazy. Though. I was on the side at the beginning, but it changed though. It was like whole turn went left really fast. But yeah, love you guys. But love you guys.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.